Hello from Touchdown Alley, where Baylor is kicking off against Kansas State, one of the most anticipated games of the season because of the implications, Curtis. The Big 12 race is absolutely nuts. TCU in first right now, but then a three-way tie for second. Baylor, Texas, and Kansas State.
Yeah, when you look at the Big 12 title game race, it's real simple for one team, and that's TCU. If they win one of their final three games, the Horned Frogs are into the Big 12 title game for just the second time ever. The other one, of course, when they route the game back in 2017, they played Oklahoma that year. But other than that, it gets a little muddy simply because of the schedule. As we take a look at the race here on your screen, Texas and Baylor, they're in control of their own destiny to get there. They just win out and they're in, or they win more games than the other two and they're in. The problem is Baylor is the only one of the four teams still in the hunt that has to play all of the other three in their final three games.
Made for television.
Made for television, yeah. And so you see Baylor, Texas in control of their own destiny. For Kansas State, it gets a little muddier because of that loss to Texas last week in Manhattan. They have to win out, and Texas has to lose one, either against Kansas, against Baylor, or tonight against TCU. And so this is a very fascinating game. These three teams tied for second place in the Big 12, and they all play each other tonight. 6 o'clock, we're already underway here in Waco, and then 6:30 down in Austin tonight.
It's just an absolutely crazy way that this worked out the way that it did, that you get Kansas State, then TCU, and Texas. The good thing for Baylor, they get two at home, and after being on the road for so many weeks in a row, what a breath of fresh air it is to be at McLean Stadium right now.
Coming out of the bye, 3 out of 4 on the road, that is enough to test any team, and Baylor came out of it, all things considered, fairly well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Kurt, I do want to touch on something. This is a blackout. No. It's a sellout crowd, but there's been a lot of talk. A donor basically came in, bought a ton of tickets, and they were given away for free. Kansas State fans on Twitter are chirping Baylor fans. It's going back and forth. Deservingly so. You would hope that they'd just be able to fill this thing naturally, but I want to say this. Kansas State fans have been pretty brutal on Twitter. If the football team doesn't show up and match that energy, it's going to be a bloodbath on social media.
It's going to be a bloodbath on social media, but I don't understand why, when these two teams are tied for second, it took a donor buying free tickets for everybody to get people to come to this game. This is one of those that, if you look at the SEC and you see this situation, this is sold out automatically. Yeah. And why is that not the case in the Big 12? Not a good look for Baylor fans.
No, but we'll see if they win at the end of the night. Who's laughing then? Right. And also, if you're here, if you're coming out, if you're going anywhere, bring a jacket. It is very, very cold. But